Kia ora. In today's headlines, Graham Wheeler has made his first move as Reserve Bank Governor. He's held the official cash rate at 2.5%, explaining that while the global economy remains fragile, New Zealand's GDP continues to expand at a modest pace and low inflation should return towards the middle of the target range. A High Court has ordered charges against 21 Red Devils Motorcycle Club members to be dropped, saying the court's processes have been significantly abused by the false arrest and prosecution of an undercover officer. The Law Society's Jonathan Tem says the integrity of the court system must be protected.
Our courts must be independent, so must judges be. They stand between the state and the citizens of our community.
Former Pike River boss Peter Whittle has denied 12 charges of health and safety failures at the coal company leading up to the mine tragedy nearly 2 years ago. He appeared in Greymouth District Court today and pleaded not guilty to flawed methane explosion management, strata management, ventilation management and mitigating the risk of and impact of an explosion. Solid Energy has thanked Spring Creek miners for their work as it made 230 redundant. Payments were handed out in Greymouth today, and affected workers have been told they can reapply for 18 care and maintenance jobs while the mine is mothballed. The EPMU believes the government is to blame for the job losses, with spokesperson Garth Elliott saying the government should have stepped in.
I think if the government had fronted up with some money to help that mine through a bad period, that we might have been able to keep a few people employed.
The Airline Pilots Association is comfortable with the Civil Aviation Authority's decision not to prosecute anyone over an incident where potentially dangerous oxygen canisters were carried by a passenger plane. President Glenn Kenny says the interim report suggests there was no case of willful neglect, so prosecution wouldn't be appropriate. A disability advocacy organisation is unsurprised by a report showing disabled people face several employment barriers. The Convention Coalition report found 56% are unemployed, and David Matthews of CCS says disabled people are eager to work but need additional support.
The country is missing out on huge potential by having disabled people on benefits rather than in paid employment.
The Environment Minister has opened a pioneering recycling facility in Upper Hutt to break down disposable diapers into a safe, odourless compost instead of sending them to a landfill. The world-leading project will recycle millions of nappies annually. It's estimated that the under 3-year-olds in Wellington alone produce more than 6,500 tonnes of waste a year. Clamping down on tax evasion is a key aim of a proposed agreement between New Zealand and the United States. Revenue Minister Peter Dunn is looking at negotiating a foreign tax compliance agreement which would see New Zealand banks, life insurers or managed funds providing details to the US authorities about the affairs of their American clients. And the US President has launched a marathon 40-hour campaign with his America Forward tour through battleground states starting with Iowa and Colorado. There are just 13 days to go on his knife-edge contest with Republican Mitt Romney, who is on a similar odyssey through the country before Election Day on November the 6th. International Peace Envoy Lakhdar Brahimi says Syrian government commanders and most rebel chiefs have agreed to a truce during this week's Muslim holiday. The agreement boosts hopes of a significant breakthrough in the 19-month conflict. A ceasefire between Israel and Palestinian groups in Gaza has come into force. Israeli officials said the government had received messages from Hamas calling for a ceasefire. The Israeli army reports no further missile fire has been detected. Finally, Australian researchers have found women who live at lower latitudes have almost double the risk of breast cancer than those in the north. That's related to the reduced potential to synthesise vitamin D from sunlight, which compounds the health risks for New Zealanders, according to Professor Stephen Boyashes.
We know that too much sunlight is no good for us in terms of increasing risk of skin cancer. And the question is trying to achieve that right balance to avoid the consequences of vitamin D deficiency.
Ka nui ngā karere e matua mai te whare korero o rima, Mauri ora.